Hi, my name's Rhys Chong. I work at Physically Edge in London. I'm a physiotherapist, and Alpine Ambience has asked me to talk to you today about skiing and pre-season skiing. As a physio, I often see knee injuries because knees tend to be stressed the most with the way the boots are designed today. I also see low back pain, hip pain, and shoulder injuries. With the knee, often the problems are ligament injuries, and these often require rehabilitation. Today what I'm going to do is run through some exercises which will help with injury prevention and maybe help with your performance when skiing. One of the first things we do as a physio is we look at movement patterns. And when you're skiing, there is the characteristic squat. And with the squat, it's very important that you have got good calf length. And the reason for this is that when you're in a ski position, if your calf muscles are tight, they don't allow your knees to come forward enough. And what can happen is you end up flexing at your low back. So your bottom ends up shifting backwards, your knees take more pressure, and your back will bend. And this can end up causing back problems. So the first thing I do is check that you've got good calf length. And this is how you can do it at home. You stand up against the wall, you have your feet, your hips, your shoulders, and your head against the wall. You measure from the start position, and then you squat down. Where you squat and finish, you measure the distance between the start and the end position. If it's 20 centimetres or more, you've got adequate calf length. When skiing down a hill, it's very important that you're able to keep your head looking straight and also your pelvis looking straight. What this means is when you try and turn your skis, you've got to turn your hips independent of your pelvis. And this is what I do to teach people how to do that action. I get people to imagine a straight line in front of their toes. If they're standing straight, they put their hands on their hips. Bend their knees slightly, and then you walk your feet around in one direction as far as you can go. The normal range of motion I'd want is about 50 to 60 degrees. This will allow you to get down a slope which is of an average to low level. If you're going to go down steeper slopes, however, you need about 70 to 80 degrees. To increase your range of motion, you just do this exercise. You take your legs around to the left, and then you might take them around to the right, and you continue that process, gradually increasing your range of motion. Come back to the middle. So to show you again, keeping your pelvis still, walking your feet around as far as you can go. So you can imagine your pelvis and your head are facing down the fall line of the hill. When skiing down a slope, often people allow their knees to drop in and out, and it might look something like this, or like this. What this does is it puts extra load to the knees, the ankles, the hips, and the low back. So you want to learn how to keep your legs in good alignment, and that means keeping your knees over your toes, the middle of your toes, as you're skiing down the slope. And to do that, you use muscles on the outside, your hips, and also on the inside, called your adductors, to keep your legs strong and in that position. To practice strengthening these muscles and learn alignment, we have this exercise. You place your hands on your hips. You'll need a smooth surface, and I usually put a towel on the surface so that it can slide. You're looking straight ahead. Have your knees slightly soft, and then what you're going to do is draw your feet together, keeping your knees and your feet over each other. So very gently drawing in, and it is a challenge. Good, and then you'll very slowly draw out. Good, and as you can see, Simon was able to keep his knees over his toes. And you might do this 5 to 10 times, 3 sets, at least every second day. When you're skiing, you'll hear people talk about core strength. Core strength is important, and you can imagine this when you're going down moguls and your knees are moving up and down. Your back, if it's not got good core strength, will also move up and down, and often in a flexed position. And this can lead to disc injuries or other forms of low back injuries. So what I do is I teach people how to find what we call a neutral position and then strengthen their back in this position. So to do this, I have you lying down on your back with your head well supported. I get you to very gently push your low back into the floor and then raise it to the ceiling. Into the floor and then raise it to the ceiling. And then you want to find the mid position between those ranges. You then place your hands behind your back and you place your fingertips on your spine so that you can feel that neutral position. You then raise your leg, 90 degrees at your hips, 90 degrees at your knees. Holding this neutral position, you then raise and lower your leg. And you can do this 10 times on each leg and practice this daily. And as you get better, you'll start to know when your spine is in a neutral position and which muscles you use to support it, so that when you're skiing down those moguls, you can use those muscles to protect your back. What you've just watched are some tests and exercises that I find useful in helping to prevent injuries and improve your performance when skiing. As a physiotherapist, I know technique is very important. I have seen injuries occur because technique has been very poor. For this reason, I recommend you getting ski instruction. Also, as a physiotherapist, I know that if you have an ACL reconstruction or you have a low back injury, you need to be shown what to do to make your skiing safe. So for this reason, I recommend you seeing a physio or another health professional that you trust before you go skiing. I also recommend personal trainers. I think if you want to get strong for your skiing, personal trainers can fine-tune what you're doing. For this reason, I've got Bruce and Haylene to show you the 6 exercises they think are most important for pre-season skiing.